But yeah, let's move on to the next dumb right wingers segment.
Are we gonna be able to handle it?
Yeah.
Is this gonna fucking?
This is okay.
Does
So
it
this
cause
is
loss of brain
significantly
cells?
Is my
this is
brain gonna melt out
significantly
of my
less
ear?
dumb. This is significantly less dumb, I promise you.
Okay,
But it's
okay.
still dumb. It's Ben Shapiro, so
Oh. Okay, I know him, so yeah.
Why are you doing this to us, Harry?
yeah. So I'm just like gonna write out this ad and then I'm gonna share the screen. All right, so this is a video from Ben Shapiro's YouTube channel in which he endorses Donald Trump. That might not seem surprising because he is very right-wing, like already. But as he explains, he did not vote for Trump in 2016 for a number of reasons, and he explains that in this
He
video.
thought he wouldn't be conservative enough was his reason in 2016.
Yeah.
I did not vote for Donald Trump in 2016. I am voting for Donald Trump in 2020. There are 3 reasons I'm going to vote for Donald Trump in 2020 when I didn't 4 years ago. First, I was simply wrong about Donald Trump on policy. Second, I wasn't really wrong about Donald Trump on character, but whatever damage he was going to do has already been done, and it's not going to help if I don't vote for him this time. And third, most importantly, the Democrats have lost their minds. So, first of all, Donald Trump has governed pretty conservatively. I thought he would not be conservative in his governance. I was just wrong on that. Donald Trump radically cut regulation. You actually saw reductions in the number of man-hours dedicated to dealing with regulation for the first time in a long time under Donald Trump. He appointed originalist judges to the best of his ability. We're talking dozens of them, textualist, originalist judges who actually
hundreds of
the
them.
Judiciary. He cut taxes, jogging the economy, raising it.
And also, let's just put this out there, and I should have said this when we were talking about Amy Coney Barrett. Originalist ideology is fake. It doesn't mean anything.
When it comes to Second Amendment, which was meant for militias, they say, well, it extends to Americans to protect themselves.
But the thing is that the founding fathers never
That's a great point,
the
actually.
founding fathers never extended it to that point.
Exactly.
Like that's based on their own intuition, because the whole idea of originalist ideology is that we're just going strictly by what the founders wanted, and they could not and did not purposely cover everything. There's no way they could have done that. So yeah, originalist theory and just saying oh, I'm just going strictly by the Constitution and not my own opinion. Don't take them at their word. It's all bullshit.
It's just when it's convenient.
Not seen in half a century, the lowest unemployment rate in half a century, people having their wages rise at the bottom of the spectrum. He appointed pro-life people to the executive branch and pursued pro-life policy via executive order. He dumped out of the idiotic Paris Accords, which were useless and counterproductive. He dumped the even more idiotic and evil Iran deal, which gave money to the Iranian mullahs to use for terrorism, as John Kerry freely admitted. Donald Trump crushed ISIS. He killed al-Baghdadi. He killed Qasem Soleimani. Donald Trump is the first president of my lifetime not to start any new wars, which is a kind of big thing. He moved the American embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. He brokered the first meaningful peace deals there in 3 decades in the Middle East. He cracked down on China in unprecedented ways. He's resisted using the federal government to control everybody's life during COVID. That's a big thing. This is the biggest government power grab of my lifetime, and Trump refused to do it. Donald Trump restored due process on college campuses because he actually cares about due process, or at least his Secretary of Education.
What do you mean on college
popular
campuses?
opinions. Donald Trump has not actually.
Remember that tweet? I've seen it
Process
going
on
around.
college campuses?
I've seen it it fits.
He's
perfectly.
talking about idiots on college campuses who are being, quote, canceled or whatever.
Dude, if I facepalm anymore, I'm gonna get hurt.
Yeah, there was a tweet going around Mike Pence was the guy explaining a rational serial killer explaining why he needs to kill you. This exactly explains Ben Shapiro right here.
Who was it that said that? I heard that too. Who was it that said?
He's trying to appear rational, but he's not rational. He's just ignoring many things.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who did say that, because I heard that too. Mike Pence sounds this sounds like the serial killer who's trying to rationalize why he's going to kill you. But yeah, let's keep.
Actually threatened the institutions. The fact is that Donald Trump may have been hemmed in by his own people. Whatever the rationale, he has not threatened the press. He has not threatened the legislature. He has not used the executive branch in nearly as powerful ways as Barack Obama did. Trump hasn't been as conservative as I would like.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
It's a lie.
It's just not true.
On everything, he spent way too much money, oodles too much money. I actually care about that stuff.
I have
His
a lot to say
perspective on
about
trade
this,
is a
but there's
zero-sum
more.
game. I think is wrong-headed.
He
Still
pushed the
signed into
trade
law the
deficit.
USMCA, which is a pretty good trade deal. But these are problems I've had with a variety of Republicans, including George W. Bush. Trump has governed overall in a far more conservative fashion than W on policy. He is the most conservative president of my lifetime on policy. Of course, Ronald Reagan
Got
left
that
office
right.
when I was 4 years old. Second, times change. When I said I
That's
wouldn't vote for
probably
Trump in
true.
2016, I was worried about three things. One, policy. Again, I was wrong. Second, I was worried about the soul sucking of the Republican Party to approve bad behavior, the people nodding and grinning at bad stuff Trump did. A lot of that has happened. And third, I was worried about toxicity down ballot, right? Losing House seats, losing Senate seats, blowing out the Republican Party with minorities and women and young people. A lot of that has manifested. But here's the thing. It's already manifested. And me not voting for Trump in 2020 doesn't stop that from manifesting. Like, I've been very, very clear on my feelings about Donald Trump's character. I have serious reservations, to say the least. Trump has some good qualities, right? He's a hammer in search of a nail. Sometimes he hits a nail. It's super satisfying. And sometimes he hits a baby, and it is far less satisfying. Trump hitting the media, it's often justified. I mean, the media have exposed themselves as just a pure dumpster fire of
Did he
leftist
just
garbage.
say that?
They treated him as an enemy from the very first day. They've promulgated false narratives.
I did not see that. I've seen this. I've seen like
Oh,
abbreviated
so, like,
versions of this
basically
whole
Trump-
thing.
Did he just say when a hammer hits a nail, it's satisfying? When it hits a baby, it isn't. Therefore, we should root for the hammer. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, it's,
I don't even understand that.
Like, how does he like relegate everything like
But
factual
he hit
Trump
a
has
baby
done
already.
to leftist media garbage? Like, what?
So is he saying that because the hammer has already hit the baby, the damage has been done, so we should just let the hammer keep swinging and hope it hits nails?
it sounds like that's his rationale.
What?
It's
What?
very stupid. Well, like, what do you expect from Ben Shapiro?
They've lied about things that he has said. They have taken the worst interpretation of everything he could possibly have said. That doesn't mean that Trump hasn't been vindictive or petty or immoral. He does all those things.
Yeah, see, grab him by the pussy could have multiple interpretations. So, that's why you should vote for Trump.
Trump being unable to focus and willing to jump on any rake is not just immoral, it is very often stupid and counterproductive. I mean, you know my opinion on this. Everybody knows, okay, deep down in the cockles of your heart, no matter how much you love Trump, everybody knows the Trump administration, with Trump on teleprompter more often and less on Twitter, would be in a position to win the 2020 election more easily.
Yep,
He's more appealing that way,
that's
actually.
true. Yeah, when he is less himself, he's more. I mean, Ben Shapiro's right on
Everybody
that point.
But like the thing is, like him being himself and just appearing as a straight shooter is what made him appealing in 2016. But
But it's different now because now Donald Trump is the establishment. He's been president for 4 years. He's not just
Yeah.
some fighter. It's different now. We've seen who he is. We've seen his policies. They're much more conservative and less populist. As Ben Shapiro is pointing out, he's saying like that's the reason I'm voting for him now.
Yeah.
He also knows that Trump's tweets damage him with people who don't already love him. All of that is true, right? But all of it is not changing. There's a group of people out there who every time Trump tweets something
the
newly
tweets
stupid,
are like
they
probably
get
the
newly
least worrying
enraged.
thing.
I think
about
most
him.
Americans, basically, this is all baked into the cake at this point. I think it's important, deeply important, for conservatives to criticize Trump when he requires it. When Trump does something bad, we should say it out loud. We shouldn't hide that. And that's why I've been calling balls and strikes on Trump as a president since the day he was elected. But 2020 is not 2016. Everything that is bad about Trump is already part of the system. It's already part of the new normal, for better or for worse. And me avoiding voting for him in 2020 doesn't change that. Third, and most importantly, the Democrats have lost their f***ing minds. They've lost their minds. So have members of the mainstream media. So have members of our bureaucracy. So have members of academia. These people must not be allowed the mechanisms of power. Our most crucial
And there's really no
different opinion from you.
Yeah. There's
Dude, I
really no
don't
reason to
know.
watch this because it's basically the same bullshit over and over
Yeah.
again.
I
Joe
don't want to
Biden
watch
is
the rest of this.
Yeah,
Joe
it's
Biden's a puppet
basically-
of the left, or that,
Yeah,
that
it's like
shit.
basically what Lindsey Graham said on the debate stage. Oh, the left is nuts. They're crazy.
Yeah, Jamie Harrison, I wouldn't call left wing. He's very much more centrist, but I mean, like better than Lindsey Graham. Let's that.
I
But
mean,
that's
he
the
does
thing.
live in a conservative state, so he really has to toe the line for Democrats to win that state. So,
Well, I don't know about South Carolina, but at least in states like Kentucky, you definitely should be more progressive. There's plenty of working class progressives in
mean,
Kentucky
yeah,
that just don't
definitely.
show up to vote because all the Democrats they run are just centrists and terrible, like Amy McGrath. You know, but
like Charles Booker should have won. Like, I mean, Jamie Harrison, he's like the best candidate right now for like South Carolina turning blue.
yeah. But yeah, so like yeah, that last point is obviously dumb. The second point is obviously dumb because like like so there's like the three main points like so like he said the three main points are like 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 Trump is very conservative on policy, which is true. Like all of the things that Trump has done have been very quite conservative, very standard Republican stuff, which is what Ben Shapiro is definitely more or less for. Um, you know, he there was a few moments in which Ben Shapiro definitely stretched the truth to say the least about like the things that Trump has done. But like when it comes to like the conservative, like when it comes to the ideology or like the ideological like aspects of what he's saying about Trump, like everything's true about that, and if someone really agrees with that, they really should vote for Donald Trump. But the thing is, all of those things are very unpopular with the American people. Like American people want to, end the wars. They want to, they want more protectionism. They don't want free trade deals like NAFTA and or like USMCA. They, like they, most of America is pro-choice rather than just like pro-life, and it's so like someone said, like the more you make Ben Shapiro uncomfortable, probably the better off you are. And then there's the two other points. The second point being, I was concerned about Trump damaging the social fabric, but that doesn't really mean anything now since it's already baked into the cake, as he said. Like that doesn't mean anything other than it's like, okay, whatever, the damage is done. And like, but that's the thing, you want to reduce the damage. So it's, and then obviously the third point, like, oh, the Democrats have lost their fucking minds. Like, again, bullshit. I wish they were as left as he keeps saying they are, as left as all these clowns say they are. Like, it's just like, dude, like, at least try to sound original. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I'm about checking out to that.